Our guest is Blake Elkin with State 48 Water, and Blake is going to share his journey from corporate America to being a small business owner and what that looks like. And he's also going to share with us some advice on maintaining our own water systems in our home, and more specifically, how he can help with maintaining those systems. Check it out. All right. Well, thanks for being with us, Blake. We had a nice little pre-podcast chat, so this will be fun to kind of continue it into here. But yeah, thanks for being with us. We talked about all of our connections. I am so excited to hear your story. This is one of the things that I selfishly love about the podcast, is getting to hear your story and kind of how you got to be where you are. But tell us not only about yourself, where you grew up, but then tell us about what you do.
Sure.
Take it away.
From the beginning, let's see, I was born in Northern California, and I lived there until I was about 12, and then moved to Georgia.
Where in Northern California?
In Napa, or just north of the Bay Area, up in wine country.
Okay, yeah. I love it. I have family in Grass Valley.
It's beautiful up there.
Yes, gorgeous.
And I moved to Georgia, and then since then I've been here for 13 years.
Okay.
So kind of a third, and a third.
Yeah.
So I've got a wife and 3 beautiful kids. Got 2 13-year-old knuckleheads, and then a 4-year-old just complete tyrant, but he's amazing. My beautiful wife, and I run State 48 Water.
Awesome.
A residential water treatment company.
Tell us how you met your wife.
Really funny. So I worked for a corporate company doing sales, and she ran a restaurant in North Scottsdale. And I was calling on her restaurant to try to get her to buy some soap from me.
Love it.
And I sat down, and she came up to the table and waited on us, and she was the general manager of the restaurant, and served food. And then when I left, I gave her my business card.
That's cool.
And hey, since then.
What was your first thought when you saw her?
She's beautiful.
You're like, wow.
Like, what is she doing here?
Aww.
And then come to find out, she lived 1 mile, like as the crow flies from me. So I met her in Scottsdale, and she lived at Higley and Pecos, and our kids were the same age. They both played soccer. I'm like, man, this is perfect.
Love it.
So,
That's cool.
yeah.
So hold on, I want to know. You gave her your card. Did she call you?
You know what? I think I may have emailed her after. Like,
Old school.
So bad. Because I didn't have her number, but somehow I got her email. I think I stole her business card up front and hit her up to follow up about soap.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we ever talked about soap.
Of course. Yeah. Soap, right?
Yeah,
that was
soap.
The email. You don't hear that very often anymore.
No. That was my only chance.
Well, tell us, because you have a military background, right? We want to know about that.
Yeah, so back up a little bit. I wasn't the best teenager at all. When I moved to Georgia, I think my parents secretly moved there to get me out of California as I was becoming a teenager, and then it didn't get much better when I got there. So I actually dropped out of high school.
Okay.
I think I was like 15, about to be 16. I just started my junior year and just left one day and didn't come back.
Interesting.
Yeah. So my parents were thrilled.
Yeah, I bet.
And then a couple of things happened in the family, and they found this military like alternative school. So you go for 6 months and you get your GED, and you're living there on base in South Georgia on Fort Stewart, and it's full like run by the Georgia National Guard. You have like drill sergeants essentially teaching the school. And I said, no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going. I'm just going to do my own thing. I've got it all figured out. Then I ended up going.
Yeah.
And a huge turning point for me.
What did it do?
I don't know if it was camaraderie that I just hadn't had before. I had plenty of discipline. My parents are great. Like we had a great household. I was one of those just kids that was angry for no reason. But I think a lot of it was camaraderie. I had some like strong male leaders in my life. I've talked about that a lot. That showed like, hey, there's alternatives here. And then seeing other teenagers that were also just unhappy for no reason. But some of my leadership then like started to sprout. So I went from this high school dropout that had nothing going for him, completely down the wrong path, to turning around and graduating at top of my class from this military academy.
That's awesome.
Had my parents proud of me for the first time in a long time, and saw this light so
And you were probably proud of yourself too.
For sure. It was like, hey, I could like
Yeah.
do something. I didn't mess it up.
Yeah.
Right? Like I went through and actually completed something for the first time in a long time. And just, it was a big turning point. It was cool to see what could happen.
For sure.
And after that, I went home. So I'm 16, I'm out of high school. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I need to go to college. But my parents didn't go to college, so we didn't really know where to start. So I was working 3 jobs. I was at Mimi's Cafe
Love it.
as a host.
Yep.
I was at California Dreamin', which is like a salad restaurant, running food. And I worked at like a college football store, just folding shirts.
Yeah.
Because in Georgia, if you're not 18, you're working a minimum wage job. So I had to work 3 of them. And trying to go to school, and it was a complete mess. So when I turned 17, I was still trying to figure out what to do, and I joined the Air National Guard. It's another thing, no one in my family had been in the military. We were like, well, I kind of liked it. I thrived there a little. It was fun. So let's just do this Air Force thing. And I had to bring my mom down to Macon, Georgia, and have her sign the paperwork for me at 17, and I was gone.
That's awesome.
And I've been in the Air National Guard since then.
Are you reserve now?
I'm in the reserves.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm actually, my unit's still in Georgia, and I'm in the middle of transitioning to Phoenix.
So take us from that to an entrepreneur starting your own business.
That's another big gap.
Yeah.
Right? But I when I moved here, I think I worked for a car dealership for 6 months, terrible at selling cars. And then I was in the fitness industry. So if anyone remembers Fitness Works in the East Valley, I did memberships and personal training and ran a few of their clubs. And then I went to go work for a large like corporate company. And I worked for them for 10 years. So it's where I met my wife, right, up selling soap in Scottsdale. And then worked my way up to essentially like a corporate manager. So I'm managing like Chick-fil-A size customers and a bunch of people on the West Coast. And a few years back, along this journey, this company has a bunch of different divisions, and I did plumbing initially, working on soap dispensers and dish machines essentially. And then I got into the commercial water treatment. So like City of Scottsdale, big giant water treatment plants, semiconductor companies where they've got huge water treatment systems there. So I learned how they work and what they do and where to get them and what's going on. And I had some jujitsu friends ask me, they're like, hey, you know something about water softeners, right? Like I need one at my house. Can you help me out? I'm like, I could probably figure it out, I guess. So get on YouTube, go talk to the supplier, talk to some installers. I'm like, all right, I got this. And went and installed a system.
And that's how it began.
And that's how it began. Yeah, so they had a couple of people from that school, get some stuff from me, and then they tell friends, and before I know it, I'm like, hey, I need to start an LLC, if for nothing else, just maybe some tax purposes, right?
Yeah.
Let's get one of these going, and this is just like, hey, this is my professional side hustle at this point. A couple times a month, go out, install a water softener on a Saturday, have some happy friends, I'm gonna get some clean water, and I'm on my way. And it kept growing. So then there was a point about a year and a half ago where I had to face a decision. Like, hey, was I gonna stay at this really nice corporate job where I'm well liked, I'm successful, doing all the things, right? I have this trajectory.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever easy, right? But it's certainly easier than running your own business.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Safe,
there's structure.
Yeah.
And it's something I was familiar with. Or am I going to go take this leap and go run a water softener company in Phoenix?
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about this a lot.
For sure.
And I want to kind of dive into that a little bit, because you and I know that we both made similar leaps, right? And there's a lot that goes into that. So you didn't feel fulfilled, right?
No, not at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was comfortable. It was good. It was a good place to be, but it wasn't what you really, really wanted to do. So talk about that transition and that thought process and what you did to be able to make that jump.
Well, I'll start with saying a year and a half ago, I shut my business down instead of starting State 48 Water full time. So all those fears, right? You're right. I wasn't fulfilled. I was on the road all the time, just something that I did not enjoy. But at some point in corporate America, you get to a certain step, and those are your choices. Like you're either going to be on the road here all the time, or you're traveling. So I was gone every other week. We had an even younger kid at that time, right? He was like 1 and 2, and I'm already gone for the military. I love coaching, so I'm coaching football for my boys, and I'm having to have people sub in on games while I'm on the road, and it was a nightmare. And at some point in that transition, I'm like, I'm really good at this. I could do this for another 30 years and probably make it, pretty far in the corporate world. But I didn't want to wake up 10 years from now and be sitting in a Courtyard Marriott bar eating the same chicken Caesar salad, banging away on my laptop in 10 years, and my kids are all out of the house. Like I can't get that time back. It's not fair to my wife. It's not fair to my kids. Ryan and I, we talked a lot about how important dads being in the house is, and that father figure. And how could I be a good dad if I'm on the road every other week? 3 days.
I agree. Even I think one of the things that's kind of stuck with me from what we were talking about, Peter's podcast. So if you haven't seen Peter's podcast, check it out. But he talks a lot about being present, just like fully. It's not enough to just physically be in the home with your family, but like actually be engaged and show up. And the importance of fathers in homes, and how we can look at so much of society's decline and see that a lot of it can go back to absent fathers. So I think that's super powerful that you recognize that, so much so to the point of like being encouraged or inspired to make a sacrifice to be present.
For sure.
Well, if we're not careful, our job could easily consume our
for sure.
Easily.
That's something I have to be really aware of, is like intentionally separating it, because it's not like a corporate job where you go there from 9 to 5 and then you get to get home and you're off. Like it doesn't ever end. And in fact, a lot of it's done on the off hours. So how do you make sure that when you're with your family, you're fully present? It takes intentionality.
Yeah, you got to block it out.
You can't, it won't just happen. You have to make it happen.
For sure.
So, by the way, so cool that you got the name State 48 Water.
Yeah.
Were you like, yes?
I was so surprised. This was 3 years ago, and I'm just like searching, and I don't know, ChatGPT wasn't as big, so you could just get a long list of names of things. I'm like, well, what sounds cool? I'm like, well, State 48. That makes sense. Water. And I was like, there's no chance. And the LLC was available, and the domain.
That's
I was
crazy.
like,
done.
well, okay, done.
There's a lot of State 48 businesses.
Right?
There's a lot. We need to get everyone together and just for the next cornhole tournament.
Right.
Have all the State 48s out.
That would be awesome. So tell us what it is that you do for those that are listening that don't know. What are the services that you offer?
Yeah, so anything residential water treatment. So water softeners, whole house filters, RO systems, salt delivery, repair, maintenance, pretty much top to bottom. It's in your house, it's water, and we do it. Not a plumber, but anything water treatment related.
The dude's a wizard. Like, he came over. We were actually shooting some videos that you will see soon. Our Fix It Friday videos. We have one that's come out, a series. But
multiple series.
Yes, multiple.
We were there for a while. We found some problems.
Yeah. Well, we were just standing by my water softener, and he's touching it, and he's like, I bet you're having problems with this. I'm like, yeah. How do you know that? He's like, yeah, you got a problem right here. And sure enough, and it was under warranty, so we got it covered. But
nice.
Sometimes you just like hear it. It's when you know, like, it's what every kid wants to be when they grow up. It's like the water softener whisperer. We're standing by it ready to shoot the video, and I can hear the sound.
That's
like,
so
I know
funny.
that sound.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ryan, tell me, man.
We got
is
a problem.
Is this a problem?
And I didn't know, but so it's only supposed to drain behind like in our house, it drains behind the washer in that drain at 2 a.m. And I didn't know, but Kara said she could hear it all the time.
Oh.
So that means we were just dumping water in this thing all the time.
Yeah. So you fixed it?
Yeah,
you
so
got it fixed?
it's fixed,
Yeah.
thankfully, yeah. I would have had no idea, and I wouldn't have known what to do with it. So
Good thing we chose your house to shoot some videos.
I know. And then he did my RO system too. So.
Yeah. I know. We have RO, we have all of that, and we just got a call recently from some company wanting to like service it and change the filters. So that's essentially the same thing you do.
Yeah, we come out, we change the filters, take it another step further, right? Sanitize the system, make sure everything's good. There's a lot of people, right, who come in, change a couple of filters and leave. Ryan knows I'm like incessant about the follow-up and making sure that all the fittings are pressure tested, making sure everything's working perfectly.
And then he even gave me a drip pad to put underneath there so that if it does ever leak, it's good.
I love that.
Yeah, something at some point, a garbage disposal or a dishwasher, something's gonna leak.
And we see it all the time. Almost every inspection, there's some sort of water damage.
There was a leak in the past. There is a current leak.
That one's hard to fix. So you gotta take everything out, pull the board out. So you're like a $20 mat.
I think it goes like to anything of just like overall maintaining your home. And oftentimes prevention is way more affordable than repair.
For sure.
So maintaining those items in your home on a regular basis, like I had my roof inspected on one of my properties recently, and the guy was like, oh yeah, you need this repair. He's like, Janine, if you wouldn't have done this and it rained, like you would have had a way more expensive repair. So thank goodness I had that regular maintenance and they were able to catch it. I think of ACs is another one. If you service your AC, we recommend twice a year. That will extend the life of the unit significantly. And I think it's probably the same for any of these other things, like the importance of it, but people don't value it.
Well, the good thing is people, I think most people know that you need to change your RO filters at least, right?
Sure.
Once a year.
So give
if
us
they
some
remember, right? That's the hard part.
It is.
I know in my house, like I have to remember to change the air filters. I have to remember to get my roof inspected. And change everything in the house while running a business, coaching football and everything else.
I'm sure there's a really good app or something that you could that's out there that we could just plug this stuff in and it'll send us reminders.
Well, that's what's awesome because you offer a subscription service, right? So you take care of it so we as homeowners don't have to remember, you remember for us.
We remind you and then we show up and we get it done and we make sure you're 100% and take off. And I mean, air filters, right, are gonna, if you don't change those, it's dramatic for your health.
For sure.
Water especially. I mean, if you are living in a house in Arizona these days with all of the building and all of the new builds going on and you don't have treated water in your home, like you're actively doing bad things.
You're drinking some bad stuff. So they're gonna hear about it in the videos coming, but let's talk about it. So Arizona water is rough. How rough?
Like, well, I originally it was 8th worst in the country, but now there's a new study that came out that said that our tap water is the worst in the entire country.
Okay, that's great.
Why is that?
So the water hardness is really high, so that's going to impact your plumbing, your skin, just the overall feel of the water. But we have really high levels of chlorine here because we're treating that water. So you got to think Arizona doesn't have a lot of natural water, so we're pumping it in from the Colorado River through SRP. We're using our groundwater. Now they're starting to repurpose wastewater. I don't know if you saw that get slipped in a couple of months ago where they hey, we're doing a couple percent now, but by 2029, we want to bump it to like 10% repurposed wastewater. So you know what that is, right?
I don't want to know.
But to get it from water out of the ground that we don't have a lot of to where it's in your pipes, they have to treat it. So we used to work in those treatment plants. So they send it through a giant RO. They're having to filter it, but then they're adding a bunch of chemicals. And so by the time it makes it to your tap, I mean, I'm in houses in Queen Creek where the tap water is testing higher in chlorine than my pool.
Wow.
That's insane.
And you can smell it.
Well, when we were actually talking about this, because of the window cleaning company, we're paying attention to the quality of the water, right?
Yeah.
And so I have all these little testers, and you're supposed to have 0 to 50 parts per million for ideal drinking water, right?
Yep.
And out of my kitchen sink, it was 370. Just out of that.
And that's low.
RO. Yeah.
That's low.
We've seen 600 something.
Yeah, and then
and
that's
outside.
on not even everything else that's in the water. I mean, now everyone's starting to come around to the idea of like the forever chemicals that are in the water, phosphates, fluorides, whatever people want to take out. The only way to get that stuff out is RO. You can't just normal standard filter it out. A softener is not even going to do it. If you want to get all of those terrible things out of the water, you have to use an RO, which means you have to maintain it.
Right.
Yeah.
Was where we started, right? You have to get it done and have a professional look at it.
So let's say you have a softener in your house. So it's a whole home water softener system. So it's going to protect your appliances, your shower, water on your skin and your hair, and whatever else, right? How often does that need to be looked at?
I generally say every couple of years.
Okay.
So there are a lot of companies that want to come out once a year and check just the water softener. If you have an RO, I'm going to be there anyway. If you're doing salt delivery, I'm going to do it. Every time I'm on property, I check everything and test the water. But if you just have a water softener every couple of years, generally you're going to know. Like if you're used to soft water, then all of a sudden you forget to put salt in it or something goes sideways, it's going to feel different right away.
Yeah.
But for good peace of mind, every couple of years, have a professional come out, do a once over, make sure everything's working fine. They don't last forever.
Yeah. So you need to have a whole home water softener system and a separate RO system, right?
Correct.
In almost every case.
So in most cases in Arizona, the only unfiltered water in the house past the water softener is the cold water in the kitchen. So they don't run that on the softener line. So even if that's generally where your fridge water is coming from. So you can have a softener, but that's generally not even going to be filtered.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say overall are just some like good practices, like good habits to maintain these things?
You have to keep salt in it.
Okay.
If you have one of the salt-based systems, like you absolutely need to keep salt. They'll run, I just tell people like 10 to 15 years. Like in Arizona, for everyone that lives here, like 10 to 15 years out of any appliance is awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I've seen units that are 2 years old, 3 years old that we're pulling out that aren't under warranty because you don't keep salt in the tank. So either call me and I'll do it for you, right? Or set a reminder for yourself once a month. Go out there and check it, make sure that it's using it, and then make sure that you're keeping it full. And that's the biggest thing with the whole home treatment systems.
So speaking of salt, part of one of your services is to deliver the salt and actually put it in the system, right?
Yep.
Which is what, when we first met, you were telling me about it, or shortly after that, and I thought that's all you were doing, is just have a subscription for salt. And I'm thinking, well, I'll never use that because I'll lift it myself, right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that cannot.
Sure.
Or don't want to, or don't have the time to, don't want to mess with it, right? Because you got to go to the store, you got to buy all this stuff and pack these big old, what are they, 40 pounds?
Yeah, 40 or 50 pounds.
40-pound bags of salt. I mean, if my wife's carrying 2 of those, that's almost her entire body weight. Like, that's just not, not ideal. So that's a pretty cool service.
Yeah, and then we have a wireless salt sensor too that we install on the tank. So it's Wi-Fi connected. You get an app to be able to see your salt level. I know it's super exciting stuff for homeowners to check their salt level. But when it starts to get low, it lets you know. And then you can schedule a delivery through the app. So it's no guesswork. We can set you up on time delivery, but most of our clients are using that salt sensor now.
So what happens if they don't keep salt in it? Like what's the...
Thank you for watching the episode. You know, our podcast is called The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. And I love sharing these real life stories, but we are also in the real estate business. And so if you have any real estate needs, maybe you're thinking about buying or selling or wanting to invest in real estate, we would love to help you.
Yeah, so I mean, at that point, so many things go wrong. Like the control valve itself, like an issue like you had, that'll happen after a year, right? Not after like 3, 4, or 5. The resin inside of the water softener will get caked up with hard water and you won't be able to recover it. And then you're at a point where you're having to take the valve off, you're like pulling the whole system out, pulling everything out, and it starts to get really expensive. And like any appliance that you buy, the one thing that's gonna void it is hard water. Like whether that's a dishwasher or fridge or literally anything, hard water is gonna void a warranty. So if you don't keep salt in it, you know, some of these people are investing, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in the system, and you're gonna have to pull it out in 2 years and make that investment again.
Yeah.
Or don't do it and have all of that terrible stuff in your water in the house.
Yeah. So you've been doing this for a couple of years now. What are some of the lessons that you've learned as an entrepreneur, business owner, all of that?
Answer the phone and show up.
Oh, isn't that amazing, right? We talk about this all the time. That is so basic, but it is so huge and so many people don't do it, and I don't understand how they stay in business.
It's unbelievable.
If it is really hard as a small business to get anywhere ranked on Google. So if someone does find your information and they call you and you don't answer the phone, they already are calling you because they called 3, 4, 5, 10 other ones and they didn't answer. So it's like your one opportunity to do it. And then when you do, answer the phone and what I tell other people that want to start businesses, if you actually care, like fundamentally care about your client, care about what their problem is, you help them solve it, not in some like slimy sales guy way, and then you show up on time, clean, and do what you're supposed to do, it's hard to not be successful.
So I want to talk about that piece a little bit, because you shared an example of one in my neighborhood where you went above and beyond and you didn't have to do that. So let's talk about that refrigerator issue. Tell us that story real quick.
It actually just got completely resolved, which is great. So I went in to change some RO filters, like super standard process. And this client, it's like a new home. I mean, you guys have been there.
Less than
like
3 years.
A couple of years. I went to change the filters and test everything, and everything's great. Client's happy. And then I got home, and I think I was on my way to another call, and they calls me and say, "Hey, Blake, the water out of my fridge isn't working." You mean the water? Like, everything's turned on. No problem. I'll come back. So I go back, and sure as heck, like, the water in the fridge is not turning on. So I'm like, all right, well, I got a couple of choices, right? Some of what I've experienced over the years in service industry. It's like, hey, I know that fridge didn't stop making water because of me, because I just went and checked, and water is coming out of the RO. Have a nice day, Mr. Client. I'll see you in a year for your next filter change. But that's the stuff that keeps me up at night as a business owner. So you could find me 15 minutes later behind the fridge, the whole thing pulled out with a voltmeter checking on like the fridge solenoid in the back, like completely troubleshooting the whole problem. And I went back there twice, right? And then I ordered the part.
So the solenoid went bad?
The solenoid went bad.
The fridge.
Yeah, just they call it plumber's luck, right? You're in there, you touch one thing and something else breaks. So I sat with the client and I troubleshot that it was the solenoid that went out. I ordered it for him, sat there with him, paid for it myself. I said, hey, I'm going to send it to your house. So as soon as it shows up, call me. As soon as it showed up, he called me. I went over and replaced it.
Nice.
So had you not done that, you wouldn't have seen them in a year, because they wouldn't have called you back.
For sure not.
And not just that, but I don't know if you know this, but there's a big, I think it was him that left a really cool review to the entire neighborhood in the Facebook page.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
forgot to tell you about that. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's what makes business owners great, is when they do those unexpected things.
Sure.
We can all do what's expected, right? Like that's what's expected. But when you do something unexpected that is over and above, maybe outside of what your official job duty is, that's like what really can make a difference. And you don't do it for that. You do it because it's the right thing.
Sure.
But the benefits always come back tenfold.
Yeah, I had no idea you left me a review.
I love that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You just got free advertising.
Yeah, we'll take it. Instead of hey, maybe it was my fault. I don't know.
Right.
But either way, it's taken care of.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want someone to associate my business with a broken refrigerator.
Oh, for sure.
Regardless of whose issue it was or why it happened. Thankfully, I've wrenched on my own refrigerator a couple dozen times, so I had an idea on how to fix it. Yeah,
I'll be like super honest and open here. I had a situation with a client where they had moved out of the home and were out of state, and we had spent lots of money on landscaping because it's an acre property, and somehow from the time of them moving out until a few weeks later, the irrigation had been turned off, and so they had spent a lot of money on new plants, and those plants had died.
Ouch.
And they were so upset, and they were upset with me. And I'm thinking, I didn't touch your irrigation. I don't even know how to do that.
I don't even know how to turn it off.
I don't even know where it is, let alone how to turn it on or off. So I clearly didn't do it. But also, I would never sabotage my own listing. But somehow, right, someone at some point had done that. And they were super upset. And I look back at it now of what could I have done better? I can't prevent things from happening, but I probably could have said, hey, let me help with replacing these plants, right?
Yep.
That would have said a lot to them, because they were really upset that they had spent this money.
Or sometimes just offering.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll
And
say
oh.
no, it's okay.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
But again, actually fundamentally caring.
Caring.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not just doing the basics. Again, I think that's what separates the good from the great.
For sure.
So what else? What other lessons have you learned as a small business owner?
A lot. It takes a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
Right. And the family piece we talked about earlier, I find myself now running this business completely full time for about 3 months or so. Is I have to carve out the time for the family. You know, and
I agree.
Still have football practice to go
Yeah.
to. Like I still have a wife that would like my attention.
Yeah.
I still have kids that need things and dinner that needs to be made. So it takes a lot. You're going to lose a little bit of sleep, but that's okay.
Yeah.
When everyone else goes to sleep, then you can go back to work.
Right.
Still get up in the morning and get the kids up to go work out and do all their things. But you need to block that time to be with them.
I love that. I think that's also a great thing. And you see a lot of really successful people that have like totally failing personal lives, and they've missed that.
Yeah.
And to me, and we've said this before, like I could have the best business, but if I have a failing home life, then it's not worth it. And on the flip side, I would much rather have a thriving, successful home life, because at the end of the day, that's the stuff that really matters, and my business not be as great as maybe it could be.
Sure.
Yeah, we actually were talking about this the other day. One of my favorite quotes is David O. McKay. He said, "No success compensates for failure in the home."
Yeah.
So I don't care how much money you make, how successful you are, how good you look on social media. I don't care.
Right.
If your family life is failing,
It wasn't
none
worth
of that
it.
matters.
Yeah.
Right?
Because when we die, when we're all on our deathbed, we're not going to be sitting there saying, I wish I would have sold one more house. I wish I would have helped one more client, right?
Sure.
It's going to be the family stuff that really matters. And I feel like, thankfully for me, I have that perspective, because my natural nature is want to just go and do
And
more
hustle.
and be better and crush it. And when you see, oh, wait, I have things suffering over here, I'm so thankful I learned that lesson early on. And it's not worth it.
I think that's why we got into the business, right?
Yes.
I mean, all three of us have left a corporate environment. It wasn't to go work 18 hours a day for ourselves, which happens some days.
Yes.
Right.
It was so we could spend more time with our families and be present and have more freedom.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't to just do the same thing I was doing,
Right?
but for myself.
Yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I love being a business owner too, because I get to run it the way I want to, which for me is with integrity, right? With really caring about my clients. That's one thing that I genuinely pray over my clients, that they would know that I genuinely care for them beyond just the transaction. And I think that's an amazing opportunity that we have to be in those relationships. At the end of the day, it's the relationships that matter, right?
Sure.
And when you seek that, the money will come. And that's what's really awesome. But if you focus on serving at a high level, on really caring about the other person, all the other stuff takes care of it.
Yeah.
And that's what's amazing, that we get the opportunity, because we are in a people-based business, that we get to have those encounters.
You get to meet so many cool people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of
you guys
the
met, right?
best parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met at a flag football game.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, over at Sossaman. And our oldest kids went to the Bridges together.
Yeah.
Right, but we had never met.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and I think within 5 minutes we were talking about business.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What path we were
Yeah.
on, and your story
Yeah.
from where you came from, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how life just, like, people just come in your life in random weird times.
I love it.
You know?
And you never know how that's going to impact, right?
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Blake, like, what are some maybe rules that you kind of hold yourself to as like a...
This is a good one.
This is a good one.
Because I was
a
actually
man.
just getting ready to go there, but I want you to answer it first.
Answer some.
And I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah, like what are your, as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a business owner, what are some of the rules that you live by? Ryan would maybe call them non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables. Yeah, I mean, family is always first. At the end of the day, like, that's what we have. When if the business is stripped away and any money or toys or anything else is gone, like you have your family. And I'm seeing that a lot more now that my older boys are 13.
Yeah.
Like, man, that goes by so
yeah.
fast.
Trust me, we know more than anything.
Yeah, you
It
got
goes
right
so
some
fast.
older ones now, and from a business standpoint, it's just operating with like non-negotiable integrity.
Yeah.
Like you have to be honest, and sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
but it's going to be a lot. It's the same lessons you tell your kids.
Yeah.
But it ends up getting just extrapolated much larger when you're a business owner or just an adult. Like, yeah, don't lie.
Yeah.
Like, just tell the truth. And hey, hey son, it's going to suck when you go and make a mistake and you have to tell me the truth, but you have to do it. And then, you make a mistake at work and all of a sudden you're like, man, do I really want to go tell them that I just did this thing? And you have to do it.
Yeah.
And you have to operate with integrity. It's humble.
Just this morning, I was in a business networking meeting, and one of my rules is to get up every week and share some sort of educational thing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what I shared today real quick. So I just felt like, prompted to just talk about this. It wasn't part of the normal script.
Okay.
But early in my career, I read this little story in a book, and it was about this young executive that was on the fast track in his company, just killing it in his job and kept getting promotional opportunities. And this senior executive, much older, wanted to meet him. So he flies out to his office, and they have a great meeting, and then they go to lunch. And the younger gentleman was in front in line, and they had their trays of food, and they're about ready to pay. And the older gentleman noticed that he had hidden condiments of some sort underneath the bun of his sandwich so as not to have to pay for it. And he doesn't say anything. They finish the meal, they finish their meeting. He flies back to his office, and not only does he not give this young guy the promotional opportunity that he intended to, he had him removed from the company.
No way.
And when he was asked, don't you think that's a bit extreme? He goes, if I can't trust him over a 25-cent decision, how can I trust him over a $25 million decision?
For sure.
And I read that early in my career, and I'm like, dang, that's impactful, and I never forgot it. And at least 5 to 6, 7 times maybe in my career, both in corporate America and in real estate, I've been in situations where it would have been much easier to not do the right thing and just, not face it.
Yeah.
But you just think about that, there's always someone watching, always. And even if it's not somebody here, somebody's watching.
Sure.
Right.
Well, that's what integrity is
Right.
doing the right thing when no one's watching.
In the dark.
Right. And so many
Right.
people don't. And so I think, and unfortunately, in our industry, this is extremely prevalent, but I would imagine in yours as well, that there is so much mistrust out there that people like second guess or expect you to not be honest. And that's like a horrible feeling. But when you can win them over to see that you actually do what you say you're going to do and you do it well, that's like the best feeling.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much out there.
Yeah.
On the social media page, I go at it.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
With people that are just straight up lying
Yeah.
to clients or ridiculously overcharging.
Yeah. We just had something done on our house, and my husband called me, oh, blah, 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 we need this, whatever. And I'm like, do we really? And you're just like, how do you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to that relationship is so important.
Right.
Yeah.
What else? What did we not ask you that we should
Well,
have asked you?
one thing I will say,
Yeah.
a couple things I really admire about you is he's super disciplined, just in his personal life.
Yeah, that is my other non-negotiable.
So yeah, I mean, you live a disciplined life, and I think maybe that's some of the military stuff coming out.
Sure.
Right? But just
and
drive,
failing.
Yeah.
That part too.
But just drive to be better, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing you already mentioned it a couple of times is like you could tell he cares about doing the right thing and taking care of people.
Yep.
And if you're in a service business, that's pretty crucial.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I have no doubt you're going to kill it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Discipline is, it is so easy as a business owner, especially if I likened the last couple of months to like I'm the puppy dog in the industry and just hang with me for a second.
Sure,
right?
sure. No,
But
I know what you mean.
you tell all your friends and all your family, you're like, hey, I'm going and I'm doing this fun thing and I'm full time now and I really need your help and support. And your tribe is awesome and they'll give it to you. But they're not going to give it to you forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a couple of months, right? 2, 3, 6 months, a year. You're the new puppy dog. All the kids want to pet you and you're awesome and all of that. But then in a year or two, if you haven't been disciplined in putting in the work, I go out and hang door hangers for my business myself 3 or 4 times a week. I go and put out yard signs and knock on doors and do all of that myself every day.
Too.
Yeah.
Right?
Still to this day.
Yeah.
Because I know that in 9 months or a year or whenever that time is, those things are going to pay off.
For sure.
But the puppy dog phase of the business is going to go away.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the new toy anymore.
Yeah.
And I try to live my life like that and instill that in my kids. The military was part of it. I think part of it was just the beginning background of being not that. I'm not naturally a disciplined person at all. If you gave me the opportunity to sit on the couch and watch Netflix and scroll on my phone, I will do that for 14 straight hours.
Yeah.
But the difference with discipline is, right, is just going and doing it anyway.
Yeah, doing it when you don't feel like it.
So I'm going to work out every day.
Yeah.
It's a non-negotiable. We just did this little challenge with some buddies. It was really simple,
Yeah.
but really hard. It was 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups every day.
Yeah.
On top of whatever else
Yes.
you're doing anyway.
30 days?
It ended up going like 6 weeks.
That's awesome.
Right? And then the punishment is if you didn't do it, you got 5 minutes in the cold plunge.
Oh, okay.
Right?
5 minutes is
And
a
you're
long
thinking, I'm
time.
like,
Which is not.
No,
it's
5
not fun.
minutes is a long
But
time.
yeah,
but it's still good for you.
Yeah, for
but it's not fun, right? So
Hey, next time you do that, let me know.
I got you, man. And you wouldn't
He'll do
think,
it-
you're
he'll do
like,
it too.
all right, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, like I can do 5
You
sets
don't
of
have to
20.
add me to that
Until it's
challenge, just
until
for
it's
the
11:30
record.
at night and you're tired.
Yeah, until I just drove back from Carlsbad,
Yeah.
right? Now it's 10:30 and I'm sitting there, like, are they really gonna know? If I don't do it, are they gonna know?
Sure, yeah.
I could just say I did it. And then you're just sitting there.
But you will know. Right?
I will know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and,
And if you win, what do you really win?
Yeah, nothing. Go get an extra 5 minutes.
That's a
in the
great
cold
challenge,
plunge.
though. It's simple,
Not that bad.
right?
Super simple. Yeah, I think this week or this month we're gonna do squats and pull-ups.
I once,
you, man.
yeah, let me know. I once heard of a guy that he knew himself, so he would put his shoes. He wanted to work out, so he'd put his shoes by his bed, and he would drive to the gym and stand in the door and turn around and leave. He just kept doing that every day. He wouldn't even work out. He would just go into the door and turn around and come back. I'm like, that's so crazy. Why would you do that? And he knew he was just developing the habit, even when he didn't want to do it. And then eventually he's like, okay, I'm here, let's work out. But he was already in the habit. I'm like, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
But it's effective.
That's discipline. Just getting out of bed is most of the battle
That's right.
anyway.
That's what I do. I literally every morning, it's like I can find a million reasons why I don't want to go to the gym. Why I don't have to go to the gym today. But I just tell myself I'm going to do the next right thing. So get out of bed. Then it's like, okay, go get my clothes on. Okay. And I always tell myself, like, if you really don't want to, you don't have to. But I always do. And then again, always that reminder. I think I was telling my daughter this, like, you never regret a workout, right? And you're actually always really proud of yourself and feel pumped after. So it's like I focus on that, you know?
I call it little dubs. You're just chalking up dubs.
Just that,
Yeah.
little ones. Especially if you do it in the morning. I hate working out in the morning. But
I love it. Starts the day off good. And nobody else is up because I go early, so I love it.
are you one of the crazy like 4 a.m.ers like
I don't
my wife?
do that. I don't do that because I desperately need my sleep, so I struggle with that balance.
that's the
but
hardest
6 a.m. is my favorite.
That's the
time.
hardest part for me as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, is how do I get sleep? Like the older I get, the more I realize how valuable it is. And I grew up watching my dad and other successful people. That baby boomer generation, they're just like workaholics.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't sleep. And it's going to eventually catch up to your health. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you're sitting up at night, writing up agreements, right? Or putting quotes out there. I'm like, oh man, I forgot I got to update the website today.
Yeah.
Schedule my social media posts.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, what am I doing? Then it's midnight. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, I already told my son though I'd be up at 6 to throw the football.
Yeah.
So like now it's a max
Yeah.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you gotta get it done.
And then you
It's that
fight through
balance.
it, and then you hopefully can get 7 or 8 the next night, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever you need.
Yeah.
Right?
More coffee.
Yeah.
More coffee.
All right, Blake, what did we not ask you that we should have?
Oh man, I don't know.
We good?
We'll give you a chance. I think we might be good.
Okay.
It might be good. It was an awesome opportunity to come here
we're
and
not
talk.
done yet.
Oh, okay. Oh.
We love a little speed round,
Oh man.
rapid fire
I'm
questions.
not ready for this.
We want to know, what was your favorite color?
Purple.
Favorite
Really?
food?
Tacos.
Favorite drink? We hear tacos a lot.
He brought tacos to us.
Yeah.
Tacos to the house. Favorite drink is cold brew, for sure.
Ooh, from where?
Myself or
Love it.
really anywhere.
Love it.
That's that lack of sleep thing.
Right. Do you have a favorite movie?
No.
No. Do you have a favorite
really.
book?
David Goggins, either one of his
Oh.
books. That's
He's
the.
hardcore.
If you don't want to work out, just put that audio.
Yeah,
on.
right.
exactly.
And
You're
you'll
going.
feel really
You'll
bad.
realize that you're a pansy.
For sure.
Right. Okay. Do you have a favorite sound?
Right now it's Hawaiian music.
Oh.
Really?
But besides that, it's that the sweet like 3 and 4 year old laugh
Yeah.
from one of my kids, which I still get that laugh sometimes out of
Yeah.
the older kids. But
I
it's
would,
just
I would just say
more-
record it. record it now because I wish I could go back to it so bad.
Just their little, just like interview them.
Yeah.
Their little voices kill me. If I like see an old video of my kids,
We've talked about this. One of my biggest regrets is not interviewing my kids on their birthdays.
So do that.
I will have to show you a video when we're done when my youngest shaved his head.
Oh gosh.
A line in his head to match his brother's.
Oh no.
And I interviewed him. I'll have to show you.
That's
awesome.
So good for you for having that. Okay, do you have a favorite podcast?
It's really a mix. Right now it's like fantasy football podcasts all the way. I'm gearing up for all 10 of my fantasy football leagues.
That's so funny.
But other than that, I kind of have a mix of audiobooks and podcasts.
Okay.
I drive around a lot.
Yeah, it's so good to do. Yeah. It's kind of amazing side note how much we have so much information at our fingertips.
For sure.
That we didn't have before, right? And it's so easy to get it. I love that. I think it's easier than ever to be successful and to learn something new, but yet people don't do it. Okay, last question. Do you have a favorite vacation?
Hawaii.
Oh, which island?
Any of them, really. But I like the Big Island because the weather's always great.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to go there for work every couple of months. I scoped everywhere out.
Yeah.
But I think the most beautiful is Kauai.
Oh, yeah.
I think the most romantic for sure is Maui. The best weather is Kona.
Yeah.
Big Island. No
we'll
doubt.
be there next month.
Which one?
Kona.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, I can't wait. Awesome. Well, thank you for being with us and sharing your story and sharing a little bit about what you do. If someone is interested in your services, how can they find you? For sure. So the website, state48water.com. The best way, social media, Instagram, Facebook, @state48water. Or give me a call. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks for listening to the Real Deal podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on social media at the Home Selling Team AZ.